All right, so this is happening. I was on Twitter and I asked everybody, did I finish off the arrow that I was doing, or because tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow, right? It's the Criterion sale. It's starting up the big Barnes and Noble 50% off sale, the one that everybody's excited about, the one that people, at times, give their newborns for. So I decided we'd go with that. Well, you guys decided we'd go with that, and it should be fun. So I've got my cherry bubbly here. I've got all my Criterions, which we are going to go through. I got box sets, DVDs, Blu-rays. I'll talk about some of my big Criterion wants on here as well. with you guys, we'll actually all talk about it. I'll even open up my my chat thing here so that I can actually. Hey, Mug, welcome. We are doing Criterion today. So, are you a big Criterion fan? If you are, this is the day for you, because this should hopefully be fun. So, what I want to do here before I start up is, because hopefully you guys are going to be chatty, and with that, I want to make sure I can keep up with stuff that's being said. Hey, Andy, how's it going? We are going to talk Criterion. Are you? So, who is buying from the Criterion sale? I legit cannot. I wish I could. I wish I could tell you right now I'm going to be buying from the Criterion sale, but I don't think I am. Though I do have some like wish lists of things that would have, like basically if I won the lotto, what I would buy from the Criterion sale. I'm waiting for this ad thing to go so I can actually see stuff. And there we go. Perfect. So I can look over there if I miss a comment or something. I will say. So let's go right into it. I do not have a particular order. I'm not going to go numerical order or anything like that. So I know how you're feeling, Andy, but I did luck out with like some extra Arrow. Maybe I should have saved a little bit of that money for the Criterion sale. I didn't think of it at the time, but it's okay. It's all right. I'm very happy. Considering the amount of stuff that I got this month. So with Criterion, the way that the sale works, it's on Barnes & Noble. It's 50% off. And it's usually 50% off the manufacturer price, the MSRP price. But Criterion is a company that's really expensive. There are a couple that you're really interested in. I'm kind of curious. So what are you interested in, Ready? I know you like a lot of the horror stuff, so I'm going to guess that maybe one of them is horror or horror related. For me, I was asked yesterday what I'd get if I was going to grab anything at the Criterion sale, anything at all. And I'm not going to lie, Steph completely sold me on A Face in the Crowd, which is a movie that I really do like, but I haven't seen it in years. It stars Andy Griffith, and it's never more relevant than it is right now. It is a fantastic film, and if I was to steer anyone towards anything that I don't have in my collection in Criterion right now, it would be A Face in the Crowd with Andy Griffith, a very different Andy Griffith. So if you're used to seeing like the Andy Griffith Show or Matlock, yeah, not that Andy Griffith. Not at all. Hey, Shadow, how's it going? So let's go through the Criterion stuff. You guys can tell me what you guys are looking forward to getting, what's on your wish list. And as I go through there, if any of these are on your wish list, the ones that you're thinking about getting or you're kind of curious about I don't have that one, I don't think. That's an early one, right? Then I'll take any, if you have any questions about any, then we'll go through it. Oh, Matlock, okay. It's very different. Andy Griffith is not a nice character in the Face in the Crowd. So this is, I always show this one first. This is Godzilla. This was not my first Criterion that I ever got, but I'm a huge fan of the original Godzilla film. I love the fact that Criterion has, like, if you have the Criterion channel like I do, then you get to watch a bunch of Godzilla films because they have a bunch of them on there. And I'm a kaiju fan, so yeah. It does look amazing. I do like the look of the book on the inside, and of course, because I'm a 5-year-old kid, I always have to show this, and that is this. I kind of wish like I had like some kind of Godzilla like sound effect to go with this, but like I said, I'm a big kid. I love that. But we're going to go through everything. I got a bunch here, and we're going to go through all different genres in Criterion. I got some horror, I got some westerns, some different type of stuff. Some stuff that I'm going to recommend that maybe some people don't really go with, or haven't really tried yet. I do. There's certain types of films that I recommend. I got one more Criterion which I should bring. It's upstairs right now. You guys know what it is. It was my big one that I got for my birthday, or what I like to call the box set to end all box set. This one, I'm not quite sure. No, on the sale, should be pretty good price. This is an older one right now. This is just the DVD edition because I couldn't find it. Hey, Stack, how's it going? But because I couldn't find the Blu-ray at the time, I was at HMV. One of these days I'll upgrade this one. But it is a really good Criterion. There's some great features on here as well. There's like a second disc, basically with a different cut of film, all that type of stuff. All right, so let's go through these. You guys can stop me anytime that you want to, ask some questions about ones, or you can just list out what you're kind of like. I'm kind of curious. Emery said there's a couple that he wanted, and then he went silent. He went radio silent on me. So hopefully he's still there, and he's going to actually answer that question after all, and that leaves in suspense. Unless he wants to keep it, just in case he's going to do it like a surprise unboxing on the channel. Then watch his channel for that. So Criterion Collection, this is an early one. Of course, like every other person that collects Criterion, there's going to be some Wes Anderson in my collection. Night of the Creeps, nice. Great film. Love it. Fred Decker. And did you get the one with the doll? I know they put it one with like a doll too. It was pretty cool. Action figure, we'll call that. This is Rushmore, which is actually one of my favorite Wes Anderson films. Bill Murray's fantastic. It's Bill Murray in this, right? Yeah. Bill Murray, Brian Cox, Jonathan Silverman, right? No, Jason Schwartzman. Well, I get them confused. Not the first time. But Rushmore, I like Wes Anderson. I like the quirkiness. The one I don't have that I really like is the oh god. I'll get into it later anyway, because I got some more Wes Anderson stuff here as well. A very different, odd Criterion one. I actually found this at a flea market, and it was super inexpensive. And that's this one right here. So this is the Beastie Boys, and it's kind of like a videography. It's got a lot of their stuff done by Spike Jonze, because Spike Jonze shot a lot of their videos. It's kind of neat in that it does a thing where you can do you can watch the video, but you can watch from different angles. You're bad, man. And it's got it is kind of neat. You can see it's one of the older ones. It's got those big cases, right? But I did really enjoy this. I'm a Beastie Boys fan. I like their music. I was a little disappointed Fight for Your Right to Party wasn't on here, but I'm guessing, that's not a Spike Jonze one. It gives you what they call an operation manual. So basically tells you the ways that you can look through it. Basically, sabotage, there's different video angles, different material, that type of thing. So that's kind of fun, kind of cool. And, not all the Beastie Boys are still around, so. You guys are... Exactly. Next up is Peter Weir's The Last Wave. And when it comes to Peter Weir, you either like Peter Weir or you don't like Peter Weir. There's usually not an on the fence when it comes to this director. He does like to leave things often a little in the ambiguous. He likes to leave you thinking. You make up your own mind when it comes to a lot of this stuff. The Last Wave, this is an early one. That's Richard Chamberlain, by the way. When I first saw this artwork, I thought that this was Kevin McCarthy from Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Because just look at it for a second. It kind of looks like Kevin McCarthy. Come on, can you see it? Am my eyes that bad, or can somebody else see kind of like a Kevin McCarthy look in Richard Chamberlain right there? Anyway, this is an earlier one. Not a lot of features on this one. I think there's an interview with the director. Thanks, somebody. I'm glad somebody sees it. But this again is this is 142, so really early on. The only Criterion I ever bought at a dollar store. I'm not joking. This one randomly shows up at dollar stores regularly, and it's Chasing Amy. I'm a huge fan of this film. I like Kevin Smith. I like pretty much all his stuff, actually. Even Yoga Hosers is all right. But no, this is classic Kevin Smith. This is when he was really, really good. Enjoyed this film. And when people would say, well, Ben Affleck can't act. Well, yes, Chase Gaming. Again, this is a really cool one. What I love about this one is where Kevin Smith is a comic book fan, and this deals like strongly with comic books. We get the Chasing Amy like kind of looking comic book booklet, which I think is really, really cool actually. You open up and you get to see like the Skewiverse, which I think is kind of cool. The cats we met from Mallrats, Clerks, and Chasing Amy. Tusk is different. Yoga Hosers is, I get what he wanted to do with Yoga Hosers. With Yoga Hosers, the way I see it, and then you can correct me if you can get it. I felt like he was trying to do like a homage to Full Moon. That's what came across to me. Like he was trying to do his own like little Full Moon type of thing. Because I got a feeling that Kevin Smith was one of those guys that worked in video shop type of thing. Watched those whole Full Moon Puppet Master type of films back in the day. Smoke some weed and like watch Puppet Master and Trancers and all that stuff and Demonic Toys. And Yoga Hosers was kind of what he wanted to do with that. I don't know if I would consider completely successful though, but I kind of get the idea that he was going with. But he's at the point now where he's just making stuff for him. And if anybody else likes it, that's cool, I guess. Nice! Sudden Fury is a really good movie, actually. I like that film. Speaking of really good films, this is the original out of print. There's a good newly remastered Blu-ray, and that is like Silence of the Lambs. This, of course, there's a great new edition of this one out now. This is I'm super proud when I got this because there was no like Blu-ray on the horizon. This was out of print for like quite a while. I was walking past this like this flea market right at the end of the flea market. I was walking past this table, and this was like they had like 2 or 3 DVDs, not much, and there was Silence of the Lambs was there, and I was like, yeah, I got to pick that up. So I got that, and I think it was like $1. So, but good condition, great one, and it does have what I guess you would call a booklet back then, because this was the booklets. Like when you think the booklets are small, sometimes now, this was it. This was it for Silence of the Lambs. It didn't have a big booklet on it. And this is like one of the really early ones. We're like 13, number 13. So. Now the next one I'm going to show you guys is one that if you do not have it, get it. You got that edition as well? Yeah, that's the thing, right? For us here in Canada and ready, that was the edition to get. And I remember having like an older version of Silence of the Lambs on Blu-ray because it had some different features on it as well. So kind of like, I think the new one has all the features on Criterion. But back in the day, you had to have 2 or 3 different versions of Silence of the Lambs to get all the features. So this one here, if you do not have this movie in your collection, 110%, pick this one up. And that is Diabolique. Diabolique is a favorite film of mine. It's one of those that really kind of sticks with you. A lot of the tropes that are used in Diabolique have been used more after it, but it doesn't take away from the direction of the film, from the acting, from the narrative. Now, one of the lead actresses, unfortunately, wasn't long for this earth. She was the actual wife of the director, but she passed on. She's really good in this. Actually, everybody is on point when it comes to Diabolique. I'm sure you guys, if you haven't seen the original, you've probably seen the remake. Go back and watch the original. This is a much better film. Hey, Brian, how's it going? I am talking Criterion. And it's partially your fault. So you and Michelle and Steph, just saying. And Vinny, you got me talking Criterion. Watch this one. This is a good one. I have to rewatch it to see if it's like, if I would consider it like totally garbage. But I gotta get through. I gotta get through it again. I got it. This again, it's one of my favorites. This is an early one. This was before they start putting like a ton of features on here. But it does have like a great introduction. There's a selected scene commentary and a video interview with Kim Newman, who I am a huge fan of when it comes to these here things. Kim Newman is awesome. All right. Next up is a Hitchcockian one, and that is the 39 Steps. And this is Robert Downey in it. Hey, Kathy, welcome. Oh, nice. What are you getting? Kim Newman just has such... Brian, he's got such an infectious like way. He's so excited. He's so excitable. Like when Ken Newman talks, you kind of just want to, you want to talk to him because you know you're going to buy more movies because of that. And I don't have a Dracula book. See, I'd be interested in that. Like seriously interested in that. This is a really good one. Actually, this one does have some features on here. Hitchcock, the early years, a British documentary covering the director's pre-war career. This is actually really is a pretty good one. I actually really like this. There's the Lux Radio Theater adaptation of this, and I'm a really big fan. We have like Sirius Radio, and satellite radio, and one of the channels that we listen to when we're not listening to 80s on 8 is we'll listen to like the old time radio shows, and I'm a huge fan of the old time radio shows. So whenever they got like one of them on these on here, I actually some nights I just like turn them on. I'll just like put the disc in and just listen to the radio adaptation. Then I can read or whatever else along the way. I just kind of soak it in. Next up is a box set that they did, and it's of a fantastic Anthony Mann film. As you guys know, I'm a huge Barbara Stanwyck fan. The Green Hornet, like the new one. And this is The Furies. If you've never seen this movie, this is a great Western. And it's a really, really good film. I've always been a huge fan of The Furies. Barbara Stanwyck is absolutely... the radio show. Excellent. I love that, actually. I love the Green Hornet radio show. I listen to a lot of them. And I like the mystery, the suspense ones that kind of creep under your skin a bit. But this is an atypical Western. She doesn't do a lot of the things that you think the normal kind of female character in a Western would do, and I mean that in the best ways possible. What's also really great is the book is included as well, and as you can see, this is an actual book. So Criterion works as basically a movie. People call it like a film class in a box. It really is when it comes to that type of stuff. And the fact that they include in some of their releases actual books and sometimes scripts and stuff like that is incredible. And as a guy that spends, when I'm on the beach, I spend a lot of my time reading when my better half is out like splashing in the water. Books come in handy. So great release, actually. One thing I recommend, if you can afford it, every time you do the Criterion sale, when you're picking up stuff, when you're picking up like, say you're picking up like 5 or 6 movies, I always say, get the ones you're really excited about, then leave one slot for a blind buy. For me, I always like to, when I do the Criterion sale, I always leave one slot for a blind buy where I get something I don't know anything about. Because I find a lot of times, it's Criterion. At the end of the day, if I don't really like it, it's not something that's going to be hard to sell back or anything like that. I've never had to sell back Criterion. Every blind buy has been something that's excited me. We'll get to that one, actually. I may have that each here. I may have that set. I don't have a blind buy for this time because I don't think I can afford it, but this was one of my original blind buys. And this is Science is Fiction. And that's 23 films by Jean Painlevé. And it's cool. It's a 3-disc set with a really cool booklet in it. Hey there! How's it going, Tennessee? And basically what it is remember those old nature like documentaries and stuff like that. So it works kind of like that. It's got a lot of these kind of like these different style nature documentaries. Basically, a lot of underwater stuff. Things like the octopus, sea urchin, the seahorse, the love life of the octopus. A lot of it isn't like some of it isn't always factually correct. As right now, like as science, as you learn more about science changes that. That ended up basically. He made this whole career of doing stuff like astronomy and like ocean like cinematography and stuff like that, and it is beautiful. It looks gorgeous. So if you like this type of stuff, like these little kind of, and the thing is, it's really cool is they're the short documentaries, some run like 18, 20 minutes long. You can put one on, put on a couple, and sit back and watch it, and just enjoy it. I did. I really enjoyed it. One of the early Criterions that I ever got, and one that actually got when I did a review of it. Like, and this was a really early review back in the day, like when I first started my channel. This was one of the first movies that I actually wanted to I legitimately wanted to review. I know how you feel, man. And this is a Rene Clement film, and this is fantastic. If you've never seen this film, I do recommend this one. About fantastic film. The Young Girls of Rochefort is fantastic. It's amazing too. One of my favorite French directors is Jacques Demy, and I'll be honest, he was introduced to me by my better half. I didn't know him that well. The first movie that we ever saw together, one of the first movies we ever saw together with like foreign films, was Podon, which Donkey Skin. But speaking French films, Purple Noon. If you've never seen this one, this is the original Talented Mr. Ripley, with Alain Delon as Ripley. So, yeah, if you have not seen this film, it is great. You get an interview with the director on here, archival interviews with actor Alain Delon and the novelist Patricia Highsmith. See, for me, I'm I gotta make sure I got this right. I think for me, the thing is that what compels me with these sales is that when I have the channel and I watch the movie, I want the movie even more. Like, especially if it's a really good one. Like, you want it in your collection. I'm a sucker. Like, I do. Like, streaming can never be a replacement for me because I always want the movie that I see streamed just in case it goes away. Purple Noon, though, if you have not seen this, definitely check this out. It's a really good one. Patricia Highsmith is the writer of course, not just The Talented Mr. Ripley, but she wrote Strangers on a Train. Actually, Alfred Hitchcock bought Strangers on a Train because he didn't get this one. He didn't get The Talented Mr. Ripley, which he really did want to do, but ended up getting Strangers on a Train instead. And I think that worked out quite well for him, since unfortunately not enough people know about Purple Noon, but everybody knows what Strangers on a Train is. Next up is a Fritz Lang film, and this is Ministry of Fear. This one usually is fairly cheap during the sale. I think like the DVD edition of this one was like maybe $14. The power of Criterion compels you. Ministry of Fear is just a really fun kind of just like a film noir type film. Very much Fritz Lang, German expressionism style. Pretty standard, pretty easy story to go with. I don't know if I've seen Two-Faced. I gotta check that out actually. And I do love the way this looks. It actually is a really cool cover. Next up is the very different Gate of Hell. Is this who I think it is? I think. All right. I got to check something here. Is this Sasaki? No, it's Kinogasa. Kinogasa, yeah. Okay. Sorry. I was trying to remember who the director was for this one. So this is Gate of Hell, otherwise known as, I'm going to probably butcher this, Jigo Kaman. And actually, this is kind of neat. We actually bought this, we're on eBay once, like a few years back. And we got this, pack, films, basically a lot of films. And this was one that they didn't have shown in the picture, but actually came with it, which was actually kind of cool when we contacted them to make sure that, was this one included in the lot? He said, yeah, I just, forgot you couldn't see it in the picture, but that was included. So I just wanted to make sure that the guy, didn't send us the movie that they didn't mean to. But Gate of Hell, so if you like the Japanese style, this is actually a pretty good one. You guys are so quiet, you're making me nervous. Monsieur Verdot, a very different Charlie Chaplin film, but I really liked. It was actually a very political Charlie Chaplin film. He struck hard with this one. This is a really good film, actually. There's some great documentary stuff on here. 2003 documentary, Chaplin Today, Monsieur Verdot, Charlie Chaplin and the American Press, which actually is really kind of cool. As you know, Chaplin had some issues Definitely with how he got treated later on. And it has a huge book. So you see some of that's like small book. This one has a huge booklet. Actually, I really like Limelight. I don't have Limelight on like I don't know if Criterion did Limelight or not. I've got the old MK2 edition of Limelight. That's the only one I got right now. Now victim of the Red Scare. Oh, yeah, a lot of people were, unfortunately. Yeah. Hey, Tie Collector, welcome back, man. We're doing Criterion tonight, and I think you're into Criterion, if I remember correctly. So I bought this one at a Value Village, which is kind of like Goodwill here in Canada. And this is Noah Baumbach film. Actually, I really like this film, which is Kicking and Screaming. Again, super cool film. I can't believe I got this for I bought this for like $2.99 at a Value Village. I was going to business school, and I had to wait for my better half. There's a Value Village right next door, so I went in and I was like looking through the movies like I always did, and picked it up, and I'm like, is this Criterion? Is that for real? It was, and I've been looking for Criterion's at Value Village ever since. Next up is I think you got to get the right ones. The right ones. Maybe I can find the right ones for your stack. Maybe we can find the right ones. Next is a Wes Anderson one, an early one, and that is, of course, Bottle Rocket with Wilson brothers, Owen Wilson and Luke Wilson. The artwork on the Wes Anderson ones, like by far and large, usually are done by Wes Anderson's brother. So there's like a joke that Wes Anderson lets Criterion do his films as long as his brother can do the artwork. The next movie I'm going to show you is on a high recommendation, but I am totally going to like not say the name because I don't know French yet, and I can't pronounce this, but it's an amazing film. If you don't have it, I do strongly 110% recommend it. It's an incredible film, and it's got Lino Ventura. And if you've never seen Lino Ventura, you're missing out. He's a really, really good like French film actor. And there we go, right there. And the picture too on this one, I like it's, it's minimalist, but it stands there. Lino Ventura is kind of like the French. Some people call him like the French bogey, the French Bogart, Humphrey Bogart. In that he has the real kind of like, you can see this guy, like being a mob guy, being a tough. And he does that role, and he does it so well. Now there's one film I like even more than this that I'm going to show you that has Lino Ventura. Hey Isaac, how's it going? And it has like some other people in it. So what I'm doing right here is I'm slowly going through these so that I'm giving you time to ask questions if you want to with certain ones. Now, this is another one that we took as a blind buy because I hadn't seen much of his work, and that is Pierre Otto. So, it's Criterion night. So we got The Suitor, Yo-Yo, As Long As You've Got Your Health, Le Great Amour. Hey, Daz, we're talking Criterion tonight. Yeah, the sale's coming tomorrow. So I figured I'd Feeling Good, and of course, The Land of Milk and Honey. This is a really kind of cool one. If you like the Charlie Chaplin-esque stuff, so Pierre Otto does kind of like, he has a similar but unique style, and there is like there's definitely a bit of the slapstick aspect to Otto. A really, really good filmmaker, really, really well done. If you like the kind of the French comedy stuff, this has some great stuff. This has some feature films on here. It has some shorts on here as well. Do you have this one, Tie Collector? This actually is a really good set. And actually, I'm going to open it up. Tarkovsky releases. Oh, good choices. So when you open up the Pierre Otto set, it looks like this. I love the kind of like the colored. Really good. It's like he's the gentleman. Let's see if I can find a good. So there is. So right there. And he wanted to like, there's Charlie Chaplin-esque parts to the way that he worked, but he wanted to do it kind of differently in the fact that he has kept himself. Oh, you're missing out on the foreign films. There's some really great ones, man. You wanted to like make it slightly different, and the way that he did that, hey Adrian, is he decided that for him, for his character, he wasn't going to be dressed sloppy. He was going to be more dressed up. Oh, nice, Michael. See, that is a great film. I like my better half. Like really, I'd seen a little bit of Lena Ventura before, but she really like got me into his stuff, and he's incredible. Next up is this is the second Criterion ever done, and I really want Criterion to announce a box set of this director like they did with their Bergman set, and that is The Seven Samurai by Akira Kurosawa. I know most everybody kind of picked this one up, and I love Kurosawa. I really do. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and I'm praying that Criterion will eventually do a Kurosawa box set. God, this is a cool one. I gotta say, who doesn't like The Seventh Samurai, right? I mean, like that is one of the greats for sure. And going from The Seventh Samurai right up next to Charlie Chaplin again with Modern Times. This was the first Charlie Chaplin film that I ever bought on Criterion. I'm a huge fan of Modern Times. Oh, that's nice. See, a stack I bought. What was the one I bought for my dad? Night of the Hunter. That's my dad's favorite movie. When Criterion put out an edition of that, I had to get it for him right away. So that was his like I think it was his Christmas gift that year. Modern Times, still one of the best Charlie Chaplin ones, and it makes me laugh. It really does make me laugh. Next up, you got to get some good Kubrick in your life, and this is actually two films. This is The Killing, and as you can see, look really close. Are you a fan of of The Dark Knight? I do. I've only got the MK2 of the Gold Rush. I really need to upgrade the Gold Rush to the Criterion edition. It's one of my favorite Chaplin films. So this doesn't only have The Killing on it, but it actually has Killer's Kiss as well. So you're going to get two Kubrick films for the price of one, which is really cool. And The Killing is a great film, by the way. So definitely, guys, this is one that I do recommend if you're a film noir or a Kubrick fan. If you're both, then you double your pleasure right there. Next up is this is the grandfather, not the father, the grandfather of French New Wave cinema, and that is Jean Vigo. Unfortunately, he did not last a long time. You guys have mentioned some great films there, by the way, but his stuff was really influential. It's got his shorts on here, and it got his one like feature film that he did. Oh, no, you got a nice boss, man. So you get like apropos Denise, I guess, Terrace, my favorite, Zero de Conduit. If you've ever seen the movie that Malcolm McDowell did back in the day called If, then that was highly influenced by Zero de Conduit. And it is a really good short film. They also have his only feature-length film was, and I apologize for brutalizing these names, La Atalante. I'm going to go with that. We'll say that's it. But Zero de Conduit is my favorite on this one. I do recommend everybody, anybody that's into French cinema at all to grab this one. Zero de Conduit basically deals with a kind of a rebellion at a boarding school. And if you've seen If, then you're going to kind of get that idea. Yeah, Zero, it stands out, doesn't it? Like, you can see like how it influenced. And any other director like Godard, Fellini, any of those guys, they all look back and they all hold Vigo in like a very high esteem. So if you're a Fellini fan, if you got 8.5 in your collection, if you got some Godard in your collection, if you got some Rossellini, that type of stuff, the Rossellini box set, ooh, yeah, that would tempt me as well. If I had any money at all to spend on this stuff, that's one of the ones I would look at. But Facing the Crowd is still number one for me, I think. I want that movie so bad. One of the first ones I bought was the Royal Tenenbaums. Hey, Brian. Are you watching the debates right now? Did you hear that? That was that was odd. Okay, I heard something weird. Uh, so it's Royal Tenenbaums again. Wes Anderson. Not my favorite of the stuff that was done by him, but definitely stands out. Can you hold on for 1 minute? I will be right back, but I thought I heard something upstairs. I thought I heard a knock. Yeah, it's like the raven. I'll return. Oh, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. So I got an extremely cool neighbor. It's garbage day tomorrow. And my neighbor actually just wanted to let me know not to worry about it, that he already put my garbage out on the curb for me. So, awesomeness. I'm back. Let's see what I missed. See if you guys have been like saying mean things about me on my back. I wish it was the livery movies. That's where it comes in. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. This was another one that I found at Value Village for like $2.99. Yeah, I got a really good neighbor actually. I'm a huge fan of this film. I'm a big fan. You guys know I'm a super big fan of. Tonight is one of those nights. I'm just not having a great night. Hunter S. Thompson. My God. Why so many DVDs? Because when I started collecting these, I wasn't collecting Blu-ray at the time. I collected DVD first, and then I went into Blu-ray afterwards. But this one, in particular, was because I found it for $2.99 at a Value Village. That's why that was on DVD. And for me, when it came to the sales, like early on, when I first started collecting Criterion, when I first went to the Barnes and Noble sales, I would buy some DVDs over Blu-rays due to the fact that I could buy more. Nowadays, you know, I get the Blu-ray, but I still collect DVDs. Like I don't believe in giving up on a format. I really don't. I still collect VHS. Rand's fantastic. This one, this is going to be polarizing for some people, but this is Rosemary's Baby by Roman Polanski. I personally find this to be an extremely creepy film, and I love what Criterion did with the film. There's actually some great documentaries on here as well. There's a fantastic booklet. I know that the director himself can be very, it's definitely very controversial, but in this case, I try to separate the art from the artist. I can't do that in all cases, but I do really like that film. Want to see the not the worst Criterion in my collection, but like probably the worst transfer that Criterion, like for me, the Criterion put out. I think they've redone this one with a new remaster on Blu-ray, and that is Unibaba, which is a fantastic film. It definitely creeped the hell out of me when I saw it. It's one of those movies that it does have some sound in it, but they could have definitely made this as a silent film with like no words at all, and it would have had that same impact. Let's see if we got the mask on the inside of this. Yeah. See this? See this here? That freaks me out. That's nightmare fuel for me. That's nightmare fuel. Okay, the next one I'm super proud of because this one's not around anymore. And we found this one in Montreal when my better half was at this shop that was closing up. So they're selling off their stuff for super cheap. And that is a film by Clouseau, Henry George Clouseau, and that is Le Corbeau, which is a really cool film. I actually really like this one. I would love to see them do a remastered Blu-ray of this one. with some new features. Like there's some features on here. You get like a video interview with director Bertrand Taverneau. Hey, Trina, how's it going? And we get some excerpts from the story of the French cinema by those who made it. And of course the original booklet here. Hey, Action Jackman. But I would like to see more of this one. I'd like to see this one redone with like some more special features, maybe a new booklet, get a good remaster for it. That I'd be definitely down with that. Cheapest I ever spent for a Criterion, 99 cents. I was at a SPCA store, one of those like thrift shops, and they had this one like underneath like a bunch of kids movies, and this is Tunes of Glory, which is a fantastic little film. If you've never seen it, it is a good John Mills and who is it? I know John Mills is on this one. Alec Guinness, yeah. It's almost like a class kind of warfare type story. First Criterion I ever bought was A Night to Remember. It's still my favorite version of Titanic. I will take this over the James Cameron version of Titanic any day, night and day, over and over again. This, by the way, guys, this is Titanic. Yes, 110% zombies, better than Titanic. A better film, a better cast. It's shot, and it is black and white, and it is haunting in the way that it's shot. Oh, Tie Collector, I do recommend this. So there's some neat features on here. Now, the most unique feature is there is a 2006 documentary called The Iceberg That Sank the Titanic. And it is a feature that is done through the eyes of the iceberg. I'm not joking. That's on here. Definitely worth checking out. There's a great 60-minute documentary on the behind the scenes of the film. There's a half-hour like Swedish documentary where they actually talk to survivors of the Titanic. This is a really good package. I strongly recommend this one. The imagery on there is haunting, and it is even more haunting in the film, and it is so well done. If you're into the horror stuff, Roy Ward Baker, yeah, exactly. From I guess Hammer fame, really a lot. But that is an incredible film. Eyes Without a Face. Again, I love this movie. There's a weird feature on here about a slaughterhouse of Paris. I don't think I've ever watched it, to be honest with you. But I've definitely watched the movie. I watched this movie over and over again. What's kind of cool is that this is an early Criterion, so you ever wonder why I get like the DVDs and stuff like that sometimes? Because you find stuff in them that aren't in the other stuff. This is the 2004 Criterion catalog that they used to put in the releases back in the day. And it goes from number 1 right up to number 240. Yeah, actually, that's right. One of the 3 that passed away yesterday. Sad but true. So, if you don't have this one, I definitely recommend it. And rest in peace. Her and Max Wright passed away yesterday, and so did from Alf, the TV series Alf, and many other things. And so did Billy Drago, actually. Hey, Michelle, welcome. I'm trying to get people to buy Criterion. And if you don't have this, Michelle, you need it. Just putting it out there. I normally just... This is a really, really good one. The sale... How long does Criterion sale run, guys? Usually runs for like a week or 2 weeks, right? Around a week, I think. Maybe 2. I think it ran longer, actually. I should have looked that up before. A month. Maybe I will get something over the month, then. Who knows? The Life Aquatic, which is Wes Anderson. I think you're right. I think you guys are all right, actually. Everybody's saying a month, so we're going to go with a month. Now let's get into the really, really good stuff. So we've gotten through some stuff. There's some good stuff there. But let's get into the Blu-rays. Let's get into the box sets. Uh, let's have some fun. So let me. Ever notice, Toy Collector, that for some reason people grab, like whenever you see somebody grabbing Criterion and they're new into Criterion, uh, that Wes Anderson is the guy that the people usually go for first. Maybe it seems more accessible, I don't know, but that tends to be one of the first things that people grab when it comes to Criterion. Okay, now we're getting into some of the big stuff, the good stuff, stuff that I strongly recommend, stuff that I got on Blu-ray. So we're going to see the Blu-ray stuff coming out now. And of course, I have to have Fritz Lang's M. Beautifully haunting, amazing film. I actually got into Wes Anderson, like Daz, but I can see him not being for everybody, because it did take me a while. I need the right film, I think. But this film here, I do strongly recommend this. This is a great film. There's a short film by Claude Chabrol on here as well. I watched M in Film Study. It's a fantastic movie for film studies. I don't know how many times I've watched this. It is gorgeously done, and the booklet is immense. There are an amazing amount of features on here as well. Definitely one to check out. Next up is one that wasn't blind buy that I hadn't seen before, and I really like it. It's a gorgeous film. I remember watching a trailer for it, and based on just the trailer alone, I knew I had to have this film. And that is it's only a short one. It's a Czechoslovakian film, and that is Valerie and Her Week of Wonders. And if you haven't seen this, I mean, just look at the trailer. The trailer sold it for me. It's definitely a haunting film. And the cinematography is incredible. Aside from having Valerie and Her Week of Wonders, which is actually only runs at a kind of real short, like 76 minutes long, so it's really kind of a fast film. It has some early shorts from the director as well, including Uncle, Footprints, and The Hall of Lost Footsteps. So you get that, you get some, you talk to the actors, some of the actors from the film. Alternate 2007 Psych Folk soundtrack to the film by the Valerie Project. So I haven't actually listened to that in that way, but it is this like gorgeous film. And if you've never seen Valerie and Her Week of Wonders, it is a visual delight, and it's a wonderful film to watch. Some films are just visually stunning. Hey, Ron. You, sir, have good taste. Next up is F is for Fake. And I'm not going to lie, this is a favorite of mine. Orson Welles made a documentary on, well, fake, on the false, on the con type of thing. And he puts his own little fakery into it as well in a certain portion of the film. And I love this movie. I do not know how many times I've watched this movie. What's even another incredible thing on this is there is a documentary on here about forgery, because there's the deals with forgery on here. And I think this is the one too that has like a, yeah, it does. Orson Welles One Man Band. It's a documentary on all of the unfinished Orson Welles films. F for Fake. Where did I say? I did. F is for. You're like are you grammar not string minutes? But it's this again. It is a fantastic Welles film. Definitely recommend this one. That's one. It was always in my cart. It was always in my cart. I finally pulled the trigger on it. I was so glad I did. We got it. We watched it the day that we that we picked it up. Like, you know, and went through it all. I think we watched it twice, because we watched it the day after too, because we really enjoyed it. We often do. Like, we often watch a movie over and over again, if it's something that we really like. So I got movies here that I still haven't watched, but I'd agree with that. I don't think there's a Welles film that I don't like, actually. But if it's a movie I really like, sometimes I'll like hook onto it and I gotta watch it over, because it'll stick with me. And F for Fake, got it right that time. It's definitely one that stuck with me. As always, fan, fantastic film. Don't Look Now. A great horror film. Extremely creepy. Extremely well shot. If this is an editor's dream and nightmare in a way, if you are into film, if you are in the film class or film school, if you're thinking about making a movie, watch this movie. The editing in this is a master class of editing for cinema. So definitely one to check out. There is a very raunchy scene between Julie Christie and Donald Sutherland, like a lovemaking sequence at the beginning of this film. At the time, Julie Christie was dating Warren Beatty, and he tried to get this canceled because he looked at the scene and he said, I think they're really making love in this. He was really pissed off with Julie Christie. He tried to get this film shelved. Now, I read the story long before I saw the film, so I knew what the twist was going to be. I'm a huge Daphne du Maurier fan, and yeah, this is creepy. But watch it once, and if you're a film connoisseur, if you're somebody that's like looking into making films, watch it the second time just to study the way that it was shot, because there's a lot of stuff to unpack in this film, an extreme amount to unpack. Next one is one that really did kind of blow me away. I love this movie. I'm a big Powell and Pressburger fan, so and this is probably one of my favorites. Like everybody has their favorite, like usual Powell and Pressburger film, and for me, it's Black Narcissus. This is a gorgeous film. You can just see this a shot from the film by there, but it is amazing. It is so well done. If you've never seen this one, kind of go in blind if you can, and just watch it and enjoy it for what it is, because this is an amazing film. Right on. This is the one that always sticks with me. I mean, there's like Red Shoes is great. You know, they did so many great ones. Of course, The Life and Death of Colonel Blimp is a fantastic film as well. But Black Narcissus always stuck out to me. And the girl, and there's a girl in this one. I won't say who it is, but she plays a kind of a darker character. A Sister Ruth, is that what I'm thinking of? And she is both kind of like terrifying and absolutely, positively stunningly beautiful. Like I was entranced by her. Tales of Hoffman. I should have. See, everybody has their favorite, and no one is wrong because all those are fantastic films. One of my all-time favorite Criterions. And there's a little story behind this, and I won't go too long into it. Is basically, I was in the dumps. I was feeling down, and I was feeling a little sorry for myself at the time, because certain things were going on. And my better half had bought me this Criterion. We're at HMV, and she bought me this Criterion, and she put it in her bag. I didn't even see it. I didn't know that she got it for me. And we got home, and she gave me a hug, and she gave me the movie. And that always stuck with me. But this is one of my favorite film noirs of all time, and it's by Robert Ulrich, and that is Kiss Me Deadly. This is an amazing film. For instance, somebody said they're getting the Repo Man. Repo Man owes a debt of gratitude, a debt of gratitude to Kiss Me Deadly. If you've seen the film, you know why. This has absolutely stunningly great features on here as well. There's a great thing here, a documentary, Mike Hammer's Mickey Spillane, which is a 1998 documentary about the author. Incredible, and I watched that actually twice in a row too. So yeah, you're getting Repo Man? Definitely look into this. This is an incredible film. I think the girl he picks up at the beginning of this film is like a young Cloris Leachman, if I remember correctly. Heavy metal too, yeah. Kiss Me Deadly stands out. And when you look at it here, it does have like the look of one of those old pulp novels that you'd see like in the drugstores back in the day. I'm dating myself here. And when you look inside, you see it even more. So this is the Kiss Me Deadly is a fantastic film. I really love this film. Ralph Meeker's great. triple feature gives me the Repo Man and Pulp Fiction. That is a good triple feature, and that is well done. Let's go over here. Oh, I had a couple more of the non-Blu-rays to show, but actually some good ones, some really good ones, and one that I don't like. So let's do the one I don't like first, okay? To get it out of the way. This is A Curious Case of Benjamin Button. It's Criterion. I bought it for $5 in a Walmart $5 bin. I'm not a fan of the film, but if you like it, it's on Criterion. Next up is a really good one, though. That is House, which is insane and crazy and colorful and wonderful, and the story behind it is awesome. Basically, the producers of this film gave the guy money to make a Jaws type of film, because Jaws was popular at the time, and he made House, which is not at all like Jaws, unless Jaws was a piano and eating somebody, because there's a similarity. Next up is a classic Ernest Lubitsch film, and it is stunning. We really love this one. That is To Be or Not to Be. If you don't have this one, I highly recommend it. This is a really, really good film. It's comedic, but it has dark aspects to it as well. It's set during World War II. It's the last one that Carol Lombard ever made, unfortunately. She passed after this one. Jack Benny is incredible in this movie. It just gets to show you how good Jack Benny could be. And he really does well, because there's layers to this film. Great stuff. There's a great 1916 short on here as well. To Be or Not to Be. Mel Brooks, yeah. There you go. Yeah. This is way better than the Mel Brooks one, though. I'm not, it's not even close. I like Mel Brooks, love Mel Brooks, but it's not even close when it comes to that. Next up is Safety Last. Design for Living is a really good one, though. So but I do recommend it. To Be or Not to Be, man. Definitely check it out, Ron. I know, that's the thing, and it surprised me because I've seen Jack Benny mostly in the TV stuff. But this is a fantastic film. If you only get one movie from Harold Lloyd, or if you're only going to get one silent comedy during this sale, get Safety Last if you don't have it. It's incredible as a 108-minute documentary on Harold Lloyd, which is fantastic, done back in 1989, which is the year I graduated from high school. If you want to do some math and find out how old I am. Amazing stuff. Now, remember when I said there was going to be a Lena Ventura one that I would recommend, even above the one that I said that I showed earlier on in this video? Well, this is it. This is the one that sticks with me. Gotta get Safety Last. Try Safety Last, zombies. Tomorrow the big sale starts up. Yep, 50% sale, Glenn. So that's why I was asked to make this video. Class to Risk. It stars Lena Ventura, and I think it's Jean-Paul Belmondo. Yeah, Jean-Paul Belmondo in this one as well. This is a great film. If you have not seen this film, please see this film. This is really, really good. It stuck with me, and this is actually a true story. It's on. It's the Barnes & Noble Criterion sale. Starts tomorrow, and I think it starts tomorrow. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but tomorrow it's their big 50% off sale. So you go to the Barnes & Noble website probably after 12 or 1. You update it. I know it's going to crash a lot during the first hours of the site. It always does. I bought stuff from there. I got to check my points, man. I never thought about that. But Class to Risk, get this one if you haven't got it. It is fantastic. So you're lucky. You got a Barnes & Noble in your area. We don't have. Well, I'm in Canada. We don't have any Barnes & Noble. Next up is number 666, and that is Guillermo del Toro's The Devil's Backbone. There's a fantastic del Toro set out there now, so I just really enjoyed that one. But the next one I do want to stop on for a second because I actually am a huge fan of this one that we're going to go back to. This is the last of the DVDs, I think. Maybe a few other bigger ones. It's Seconds by John Frankenheimer. And I'm a huge fan of this movie. Rock Hudson is amazing in this film. If you have not seen Seconds, go in blind. Like, definitely go in blind. It's a really cool little film. Basically, without giving away too much, there's this guy, like this older man, and there's a procedure that kind of grants him a new life. It is an extremely creepy, you get under your skin type of film, and it's different. It's kind of sci-fi creepy. But I really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed Seconds. All right. Frankenheimer's best film. I'd have to go through his filmography, but for me, it's one of his best films, that's for sure. So I would agree with you on that. Are you ready to see a film that has some of the best writing and best dialogue that you're ever going to hear? And this is without any hyperbole. I strongly go by this. And that is Burt Lancaster and Tony Curtis in the absolutely fantastic Sweet Smell of Success. If you have not watched this film, please do. It is an incredible film. The chemistry between Lancaster and Curtis is insanely great. The writing, just incredible. There are some great features on it. There's a 1973 documentary on James Wong Howe, who was the cinematographer on the film as well. So great stuff, and I do recommend it. I highly recommend it. If you're a writer, I am a writer. I don't do a lot of writing now, but I used to. Definitely look at this. Exactly. This is a perfect, Glenn. This is a perfect double feature for Facing the Crowd. Watch Sweet Smell of Success and Facing the Crowd, and get out your frustrations on today's society. I got to move these over a bit because I don't want them falling on top of me. They're going to fall over there. Blowout. You guys know I'm a huge De Palma fan. Absolutely love this film. This is probably one of my favorite Criterion covers of all time because it is so devastating, especially if you know the film and you know where this is. This is his life's work ripped apart, basically. It has a great opening sequence. Like, if you're a slasher fan, it has a great kind of cool opening sequence for slasher fans than this one. Great film. There's an hour-long interview with Brian De Palma on this one that was done by Noah Baumbach, which is really, really good. And at the time, this was before the Brian De Palma documentary, and that got a lot more people into De Palma. But he was pretty quiet when it came to like talking about his films a lot. So like getting a documentary, like getting him talking about his films was actually a really big deal. Really enjoyed this. This is the second movie on it as well. So this is like a secret double feature. Not really secret. It's in the extras. And that has Murder Al Ahmad, and that I'm pretty sure has William Finley from Phantom of the Paradise in that one, actually. But this is a great film. Nancy Allen's in this one would go on to being Dressed to Kill as well, because she was going out with De Palma. And she's incredible in this movie. It's a bit of a heartbreaker in a certain sequence, for me especially. But the standout performance, like John Travolta is great in this, but John Lithgow is haunting, as he would become again in Dexter season 4. It happened one night. I love It Happened One Night. It's lumped in with the screwball comedies, and there's actually even a documentary on screwball comedy on here. It Happened One Night is a great film, and it is a great comedy, but I'm not quite sure if it checks all the boxes when it comes to a screwball comedy. A screwball comedy is something when you think about His Girl Friday, fantastic screwball comedy, or Arsenic and Old Lace. And there's this kind of back and forth dialogue, which just is amazing. And It Happened One Night, really well done. Check this out. Next up, The Lady Vanishes, Alfred Hitchcock. Again, a favorite of mine. Again, that has a second film on here because two of the characters are these huge, I think they're huge cricket fans. Anyway, so there's a a feature-length movie with them on here called Crook's Tour. So these two characters are kind of background characters, but they kind of stood out, I guess, in The Lady Vanishes, and he gave these two characters, these two actors, their own film, and it's on here as well. So you get some great Hitchcock stuff, including a Mystery Train, which is a kind of like short documentary on Lady Vanishes, and you get a second film, so you can't go wrong with that. It's a good one. But one of my favorites that they put out was The Man Who Knew Too Much. By far and large, for me, this. Were they in another one too? I didn't. I see. I didn't know that. I know they're in that one. I don't think I've seen. I got to see if I've seen the other one. Then I can look that up afterwards. The Man Who Knew Too Much is one of my favorite Hitchcock early Hitchcock films, and I actually like this one better than I like the remake. Definitely. I like the way that it's done. Hey, Steph. You're kind of like, you guys kind of inspired this one. Just so you know, Brian was in here earlier. Michelle dropped in for a minute. No, we got the whole threesome here. In different times. The Man Who Knew Too Much, again, one of Hitchcock's strongest early films. I like the remake, but I like this better, and it's just so well done. It's edited well. It's quick. It's fast. It's brisk, and I definitely recommend it. There's a good documentary on here as well. Like, it does. It looks fantastic, and you can't go wrong with Peter Lorre. Hey, George, welcome back, dude. George actually went to HMV and he showed me his Arrow stuff that he picked up, which I was really jealous of. I can't see, Peter Lorre can't do a bad performance for me. Hold on, I got to get the other ones over here. So let's move these things over. I can't believe how many movies I've gone through already. Get that box set here. Trying to keep it out of sight so I can actually just shift you over and shift you guys over. Oh, I missed that. I'll check it out there. Are they really? Midnight Train to Munich? I don't have that one. I was going to grab that one actually a while back. I am so grabbing all of these over here now. Live, guys. Live. Okay, you're going down here. All right. Now some of the dual sets. Actually, I didn't know that. I would have picked that up, actually, earlier if I would have known that. And I'm not going to go in any particular order, but you're going to see some cool stuff here. So we'll start out with David Cronenberg Scanners. Again, I'm a huge fan of Cronenberg. I love this one here. No, you're not babbling at all, man. I'm learning stuff. And learning stuff for me is a good thing. Of course, the fantastic Michael Ironside. I love the artwork in this one here. And he's pretty stiff, actually, the lead in this. But he does good. He said that he tried to be stiff. That was kind of the way that he was playing it. Okay. But no, this is a really, really fun film. I do love Scanners. Not my favorite Cronenberg, but it is definitely a good one. Yeah. Next up is Picnic at Hanging Rock, a movie that when the Hot and Lost Souls is an excellent film. I don't particularly have it yet myself, but it's definitely worth getting. I would recommend it. Hey, B-Movie Archives. This one, when the director, Peter Weir, who I showed you earlier on with Last Wave, showed this movie to the people that were, the producers, people that were funding it, one of them took his coffee mug and threw it. He was so frustrated with the ending of this film. That's why I say Peter Weir is one of those guys, you got to go in and you got to understand, like, his stuff is definitely more ambiguous, but it is beautifully, beautifully done. The cinematography in this is fantastic. As you guys know, there's the Picnic Rock TV series that's out now. This one here has the book with it, and if you get this because you've seen Picnic Rock and you're thinking, maybe the book is gonna explain it a bit more. Maybe once I read the book, it's gonna give me those answers that I didn't get in the film. No, it's not. it's a great book. But no, it's not. Peter Ware actually adapted this one very well, and it is meant to be ambiguous. I'm so jealous of you, dude. If we had a Barnes& Noble here, we'd be broke because I know my better half. She loves Criterion, and we bought like a lot of movies in the last month and a half. You guys know we bought a lot of movies. So she'd say, we're definitely not getting, oh, have a great night, Ty Collector. We said, we're definitely not getting like more Criterion, but we're not getting more movies, but then we go to Barnes & Noble and we buy more. Red River, Howard Hawks, fantastic film. Again, you know, it has the book and it is gorgeous. So they have really good books, really good paperbacks. I don't think I've read this one in a long time. I will definitely read this one over again, actually. Probably over the summer. I do like Red River a lot. Ooh, Steph, just look. Look at the sexy book. Come on. Just picture this, Steph. You're, I don't know. Las Vegas got beaches. You have beaches in Las Vegas? Yeah, you know, you're by a pool. You're sitting down. You know, maybe you've watched Red River earlier on. You got this here. Nice bound book in your hands. And just to make it a little bit, there's the Duke right there. Vegas is one of my bucket list places that I want to go. I've always wanted to go to Vegas. And, Steph, look at that. 4 discs. 4 gorgeous discs. And of course the booklet on the inside as well. I used to watch the TV show Vegas. And Las Vegas too, actually. A little less conversation, a little more action. Dual formats. I was so disappointed when Criterion canceled the dual formats. I love the dual format editions. Whenever I can find them, I grab them. This is a behemoth of a set, and I really enjoy it because I have to have both of them. This is Videodrome from Criterion. Now, the Arrow limited edition of Videodrome is a little bit better, but this is a great edition of Videodrome as well. I do really enjoy this. So the packaging is incredible. It's done like a Beta Max tape. And it has some extras on here that aren't on the Arrow edition, which is, I think, Samurai Dreams. The complete Samurai Dreams, actually. But really fun film. And of course, who doesn't own Dazed and Confused? For me, like, Matthew McConaughey is super, super cool in this one, and in a creepy type of way, because he's super creepy in this one, actually. Great soundtrack. You don't? Oh, this is a. See, my better half does not like this film. I love it though. I love the soundtrack. It's like great '70s soundtrack. I like Richard Linklater. I don't have enough dual format. Well, for me, it was like they used to put out like the Blu-rays and they put out the DVDs. Still Criterion, yeah. Exactly, it's still Criterion. And you get both, but you'd also get them in these amazing packages. Like after the dual formats, they stopped doing those. You wouldn't see so many of these like paper packs. You'd see a lot like of these of the plastic ones. And I'm going to tell you, Night of the Hunter does not look the same when the dual format, like the casing, as it does in like the regular plastic one. It just doesn't work as well for me. I like dual formats. And anytime I can get them over the regular ones, I'm prone to buying the dual format edition. Plus, you can, if you want to put it on, like on DVD onto like your computer, you can as well. Ace in the Hole, fantastic Kirk Douglas film. I was going to say Kurt Russell. If you haven't seen this, I definitely recommend it. And this has one of the neatest. Oh, is it? Is it really? Okay, I didn't know it was a print. Now I feel bad because this has one of the coolest looking booklets ever. So ace in the hole. I won't tell you much about it, but it is about it is about a newspaper guy, and the booklet is done like this, like an actual newspaper. That, like, I had no idea. I just really love the film. And you're from Albuquerque? Just, I don't have his graffiti. Now I really got to get his graffiti because I love the fact that they do this. And again, this is Billy Wilder. And you can't really go wrong with Billy Wilder. I'm trying to think of a bad Billy Wilder fan, but I can't, film, but I can't right now. All right, the first contest that I ever held was for a Criterion film. Actually, my second contest, really. First one was a bit of a early one. But first big contest I ever held on my channel, because I did used to hold contests back then. I never hit 2,000 subscribers, so I never got to that 2,000 contest, you know? But it was for this, and after I sent it to my to the guy that won it, I went out and bought a copy myself. I had to, because it is such a gorgeous one. This Jean-Luc Godard's Breathless. I do love this one. There are a ton of features and documentaries and interviews and stuff. There's an 80-minute documentary on here about the making of Breathless. There's some great video essays on here as well. One by Mark Rapport on Gene Seberg, and one by Jonathan Rosenbaum on Breathless, a criticism. So there's some really neat stuff on here. It is fantastically well packaged, and I just love the look of the packaging for this one. So I did want to show you guys this one here. And it does stand out, and it has a fantastic book. And again, it is like the Blu-ray, DVD, dual format stuff. And I am into the dual format, so I just wish they would go back to dual format, actually. It wasn't good enough to become a TV series, so they made it into a movie, and it became good enough to be called one of the best movies, if not the best movie of its decade. And that is Mulholland Drive. David Lynch film that was originally supposed to be a follow-up to Twin Peaks, his next show. They wouldn't take it. No, it's too weird. It's too different. They're not going to do it. So David Lynch said fine, and he made it into a feature film. And you know what? He was right. They were wrong, and he was right. It's got a great score by the fantastic Angelo Badalamenti, who, of course, did the score for Twin Peaks. Incredible stuff. The only thing I don't think we get any haunting like Julie Cruz singing on here. I'll accept that as soon as I get off here. By the way, guys, if you ever friend request me on one of the social media things, just let me know ahead of time so that I know that it's you. Because I've had a couple odd things, so I'll always try and find out first. So again, gorgeous one, and my good friend James actually sent this one to me. I was really surprised. It was I opened this package and Mulholland Drive was on it, and I'm like, this is one of my favorites. All right, one of my favorite Fellini films is Amarcord. This was a very personal film for Fellini. I think two Fellini films you got to have in your collection are 8.5, for sure, and Amarcord. Those are my two go-tos. There's a lot of other good ones, but those are the two that I always go to watch over and over again. Although I do not yet have 8.5, which is really, really, I can't believe I don't have. Shame on me for not having 8.5. But this was, basically based on his young life and the town that he lived in. There's even a feature, called Fellini's Homecoming. Great one. And I love the artwork on this, so I gotta. And it just hits that small town thing so well. We're getting to the box sets, guys, so you're gonna see the fun stuff. I got a couple of the box sets. But first, let's see the earliest Criterion box set that I got. How early? Well, they're Criterion's number 14, 15, and 16. So I left a couple of ones here too, close to the end. And that is the original Samurai Trilogy collection. This is a very early Criterion box set. Probably one of the first Criterion box sets that was ever put out. Of course, these are out on Blu-ray with probably much better editions right now. But yeah, doesn't it take you back? I mean, like, I found this at what was it? A record store, actually. I got a couple more regulars before I get into totally get into the box sets. So let's get through the last Wes Anderson, which was the first Wes Anderson I ever bought, actually. And that is Fantastic Mr. Fox, because I do like this. If you don't like any other Wes Anderson film, I think you're probably going to like Fantastic Mr. Fox. It's a crowd pleaser. Alfred Hitchcock's Foreign Correspondent. Again, I love this movie and I love this artwork. This is stunning. If you haven't seen it, this is one of the early Hitchcocks, and definitely recommend it. The closest thing to a giallo, it's not giallo, but the closest thing to a giallo you will see anytime in the near future, in my opinion, on Criterion is this next movie by Elio Petri. And that is Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion. Really interesting, really intriguing film. Again, there's some great features on there. There's like a 90-minute documentary on the director himself. So if you're a giallo fan, Criterion doesn't do a lot of giallo or doesn't do giallo stuff, but this one, I guess, as close as they get to actually getting into that. One of my favorite Criterions of all time, and my dad's favorite film, is The Night of the Hunter. This is a brilliant, brilliant Criterion release. It has a great, intensive 2.5 hour long documentary on the film on here as well. Steph, if you don't have this one, you gotta have this one though. It is amazing. And Mitchum sells it. He really does. This one's only ever been on DVD. It is a shame that he's never directed again. But that being said, Lawton is one of the few people that has a perfect directing record. So there's that. Monsters and Madmen. I went back and forth on this one for a long time. Then I finally got it. And I'm welcome back, B-Movie. Super, super glad that I did. Monsters and Madmen is an excellent box set by Criterion. And yes, I'm going to take these out and show you because I think this will sell. The artwork alone should sell you on these. Feels like your crowd. Me too, actually. So as you see, Atomic Submarine. First Man from Space into Space. I love this artwork, by the way. And has, each is on their own disc. Each has there's a booklet there. And we get Corridors of Blood. And filling out Glenn's Boris Karloff collection, there is The Haunted Strangler. Just look at it, Steph. Look how sexy that is. Huh? Karloff and Lee together for the first time. The Haunted Strangler is one of my favorites. I've always been a huge fan of that film. It's weird, it's different, it's unique, and we're getting to... That's DVD. That's only ever been on DVD, actually. Hey, Dave, welcome. Love Criterion. I'm into the box set portion of it now. If you want to go back later and watch a little bit more, definitely do that. This one here, I think these are out separately now, but the box set was incredible, and that is the Jacques Demy set. I was floored when I found out this was coming out. I let my better half know right away. She's a huge Jacques Demy fan, and there are some incredible films on here. If you like musicals, if you like film noir, if you like old school Hollywood, Jacques Demy was a director, a French director that was enamored with old school Hollywood. He loved film noirs. He loved the old Busby Berkeley style musicals, and because of that, he went on and he did his own thing. Which is my favorite. I know you do. I got to bring it down. I actually got to bring it down because I cannot like conclude my my video without showing that. So this got Lola on it, Bay of Angels, The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. Oh, Kathy was in it earlier. She actually is getting that one. My favorite by him is The Young Girls of Rochefort, which is a musical. It has Catherine Deneuve and her sister, who unfortunately passed away like early, in it as well, playing the daughters in this one, the young girls. It has Gene Kelly doing some amazing dancing, and it has a serial killer. So there you go. You get music, you get like Gene Kelly, you get Catherine Deneuve and her sister, and you get a serial killer storyline. I'm not joking. There's a serial killer in the Young Girls of Rochefort, which I do recommend. Podon is a really different and not often seen like fairy tale. And the basic thing, and this again, Catherine Deneuve is in this one as well. Basically, Catherine Deneuve plays two roles. She plays her and her mom. At the beginning of it, her mom, who's the most beautiful woman in the land, passes away, and she has a child before she dies, and she tells her husband that not to get married until he can find somebody that's as good as she, that is as beautiful and as regal as she was. She's kind of vain. So, for years, the king cannot find anyone. People that keep saying, the girls are being brought over on a regular basis. He's like, well, no, this is not as good as my wife. She's not as good as my wife. Like he even has like this fairy godmother. There's a fairy godmother in this that says like brings in like different people and stuff like that, and like no, it won't do it. And then he looks out the window one day, and his daughter is closing in on her I think their 18th birthday. Do you know where this is going, guys? Do you know where this fairy tale is going? And he looks and he says, "My God, my daughter is a spitting image of my wife. She is amazing. I should marry her." So, I'm not going to tell you any more. You can either be extremely disturbed by it, or you can be entranced when you get the Jacques Demy set and find out exactly what happens. Because it's cool, it's different, it's intriguing. Next up, that for a long time was considered to be the crown jewel of any Criterion collection until, well, it started last year. And this is a gorgeous set, and this is the Zadichi set. If you have never seen the Zadichi film, I definitely recommend them. They're really, really good. And they're all here. Every one of the Zadichi films are here on Blu-ray and DVD. I think there's a set out now that just has them on Blu-ray. And this set is stunning. There is like, all in all, there are 25 Zadichi films. I would love to see like them or Kino or somebody put out the TV series as well, because there was a Zadichi TV series that came after this. And of course there's a new Zadichi film, the kind of the remake one. But I would like to see the TV series come out. All right, guys, I've got one more set to show you. One big one. So if you don't mind waiting here, talking amongst yourselves for a moment, I'll be right back. Because if I'm going to finish off this video, I'm going to finish it off the right way. All right. You want to talk about the best thing, the greatest deal at a 50% off sale? Let's talk Ingmar Bergman cinema. Criterion decided to do something that they had never done before. They were going to take a director and they were going to take every single one of his movies that they had, ones that were only on DVD before, and give them a good updated Blu-ray release. They were going to really highlight his films. They were going to show his films in the same way that you would see them if you were going to go to a theater. They curated the set so that you can watch them if you want to in chronological order. You know, everything's there for you to do that. Or you can watch it the same as you would at a film festival, when they would put them together with themes and program them for certain films for specific nights. So they did that. And I got to take this out because it's got a great stiff, kind of hard box like you see in a lot of stuff nowadays. If you're still there, Steph, and you don't have this, which I think you do though. Watching curated order is my preferred way for this one. This is the Ingmar Bergman collection. And it's a 30 Blu-ray film set with 39 films and hours upon hours of special features and documentaries and interviews that are just so amazingly done. Oops. So I'm going to take this off here. See? And this is utterly beautiful set. And I love the way that they've curated these. So, like, say for instance, on the opening night, you get like, you can watch Small of Summer's Night, which is a good Bergman film to start with, especially if you haven't watched Bergman before. Some of them get a bit heady, so you want to start with some, something that's not too that's not too deep. So Smalls on Summer Night's a good start. Smalls on Summer Night. Then there's Crisis, A Ship to India, Wild Strawberries, and To Joy. So there's is a good starting one. It gets later on into Summer with Monique, which is a favorite of mine. Dreams, Scenes from a Marriage, both versions, both the television version and the theatrical version as well. But not only that, they also decided that they'd put out this coffee table book on Bergman. And it really is. It goes through all of his films. There is a ton of writing and write-ups. This is a gorgeously large, immense book on Ingmar Bergman. There's the Persistence of Persona right there, which is a favorite of mine, actually. If you don't own this, as far as Wild Strawberries, everybody's got their own, I think. And that being said, I will say, at the end of the day, this, I love Bergman. This is not for everybody. But I highly recommend it. I do. If you are a student of film, if you're like a film study person, if you want to go to film school, and you're thinking, maybe I will down the road, this is a cheap alternative for you for a kind of a startup. That, my friends, is my final Criterion here for today. I had forgotten that the Criterion sale was coming. Stephanie, actually, on Twitter, reminded me of the Criterion sale. So I put off my Arrow video that was going to be done, like with the rest of the Arrow stuff, today, and I got it all my Criterions. Which would I prefer first? I would go the curated way. If you're just buying one though, I mean, like it really depends on the type you like. But start light and go into like Seventh Seal, I guess. You know, like people, that's not a light film. But like when people think like Bergman, people usually think the Seventh Seal. People remember death. They remember Max von Sydow and you know, the chess match and stuff like that. But for me, honestly, if you can get the set, it's curated perfectly for somebody that's never watched Bergman before. So whether you're like a longtime fan of Bergman, or this is your first time going in, it is a bit of a pricey set, but 50% off is that's a pretty good deal. So there you go, guys. Hopefully, I've helped you a little bit, or hopefully, I've tempted you a little bit when it comes to Criterion. Oh, thanks. I actually picked this one up today. I'm a huge Punisher fan. Right now, if I was going to grab one tomorrow, like I said, it would be A Face in the Crowd. That is an amazing film. Steph sold me on it. And because Steph speaks eloquently about this one and the gist of this podcast, make sure you've listened to that episode, by the way, especially with the Criterion show coming up tomorrow. Because I'm pretty sure that if you have listened to that, you're going to buy that film. It's really, really well done. A Face in the Crowd is incredible. There's so many out there right now that I want. Clute. People have mentioned Clute a lot on Twitter. And again, another film that I need. I don't have The Brood either, which is really strange because I really like The Brood. It really creeped me out when I was a kid. But there you go. Those are some of my favorite Criterions. Hopefully along here you've been talking and telling people some of your favorites, letting people know some of the stuff that you want to get from this Criterion sale. Are you getting some of the newer stuff? Maybe you didn't get Night of the Living Dead yet. You want to pick that up. I still haven't got that one yet. I got to grab that one. I think there's a new edition of Carnival of Souls. I got to grab that one around probably not in this sale, probably the next sale. You're right, Action Jackman. My vice is literally almost gone. So right now, for me, it is time for tea. Now, next episode, when we're here in the movie club, I think we're going to finish off My Darling Clementine, fantastic one. We're going to finish off the Arrow stuff. So the bit more to do, you can see that I got a bit of stuff there that I haven't shown yet. I like a lot of stuff I haven't shown yet because I've had to break it down. But I tried to go through all the Criterions today, so God help me, I got to put all this stuff back. Pray for me. I am Aaron. You guys are the movie club, and you are all awesome. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, before I go, the Omen collection is coming to Scream Factory. All of them. All the good ones. I mean, everyone, even the bad ones. 1, 2, 3. Thanks, George. Hey, Mike. And 4, and the remake. That is a dream set for me. I've got the Omen DVD box set over there that has Part 4, The Awakening. I would not buy the Blu-ray upgrade to the Omen because, I'm sorry, no. It doesn't have The Awakening in it. I ain't buying it. I want all the Omens. I don't want like BOCD to put that. And of course, yeah, you're right. The Blob, the 1988 version of The Blob done by Chuck Russell. Amazing, is coming out from Scream Factory. But for me, when Scream Factory put that Omen set out there and they showed it, that was a mic drop saying, okay, other companies, what do you got for Halloween? Because for me right now, unless somebody comes out with something really big, I know what Kino Lorber, it's good, but it's not Omen collection good. Yeah, I'm excited about that. We'll talk about that more tomorrow anyway. Thanks. Tomorrow or Saturday. I'll let you guys know on Twitter and Instagram before I do it. I'm Aaron. I need tea. You're the movie club. You rock. You are awesome. And I will see you here next time to talk about more movies. Some Arrow. We'll talk about the Arrow announcements tomorrow. We'll show the rest of the Arrow stuff, and we'll talk about Scream Factory announcements too. Have a great evening, and there's a sale coming up at my record store. I may have to go.